Welcome students of Form 1, of course 1A and 1B, and today we are talking about paragraph 1 of chapter 2 called Social Interaction. So you can look it also up into your book. And we're talking about norms, laws, attitudes, atitudnan y values y esse kita ding papiamentu valornan. Yeah? And the first part will be about norms. Yeah, esse kita é tópico non aqui. Esse kita chapter 2, chapter 2, paragraph 1 y parte 5. So look it up into your book if you want to see the pictures and the texts involved. Yes, this will be a video in 3 parts, tres partinan, and we'll begin with norms, but I'll also do a kind of a callback to chapter 1 to connect it with what we've done before, actually. Yeah, okay, I'll call back. Do you remember the word conformity? Kira and contested no? Please pay attention because we will look at this word again. Conformity. Cordabon. Norms within society and all social groups within it guide the way people behave and interact. I behave tem papimento ta comportação. When we conform, kura nos to conform, we act, nos to comportar, in accordance with these norms, kinds of rules, reglamento tocante comportação. Nos chamamos aqui norms. By not conforming, we create more opportunities for conflict. And we people, we don't want conflict. So by avoiding conflict, we behave according to the norm. You see that in this picture. In the beginning, the girl walks into her own clothing. In Dutch, we would call it a tutu. Yeah, and the clothing with little tipjes in Dutch, little spots on it, little white spots on it. And you see the group here is not really responding to the girl. The girl is excluded from the group because of the way she looks. Then in the second clip, the girl conforms to the norm of the group. You see the group wearing t-shirt with stripes on it, wearing pants, yeah, and wearing certain kind of shoes also. You see it? This is how the group has a certain norm. That's the norm of the group. And what do you see here? The girl behaves, comporta, in accordance with the norm, and suddenly the girl is accepted. And this is what happens when you conform. When you conform, you are more easily accepted into a group, you are less likely to be excluded, and you conform. You see the difference in behavior in the picture next to me? I found it a very clear picture explaining what is conformism. And we all do this, all of us, to conform. And here you see it too. One person is in a light blue suit and is working the other direction, and the other persons are walking towards the other direction in a dark blue suit. Yeah. And the question for the person to the right is, am I conform? Am I gonna conform? Or am I not gonna conform to the rest of the group by changing my suit and also walking in the same direction, actually? This is also conformism. Very important concept for us. Yes? Conformidad, está a palavra de papimento. Conformidad. Yeah? So you see here a person with pink hair, and the person with pink hair would be excluded from the group, would more likely to have conflict with the rest of the group, and that's why probably this person with pink hair will color his hair like the rest of the group. Yeah? And if we not conform, we create more opportunities for conflict. So what this guy does, walking to the right, yes, and you see this person looking already from, oh, what is this person doing? He shouldn't do that. He is not conforming. And this can create a conflict between the person who doesn't conform and there are persons who do. And this can create a conflict between those groups of people. Because you're looking and they will respond in a negative way. You also see it here. And mostly that will be a negative response. Yes, so this person is not conforming. And by not conforming, we create more opportunities for conflict. This is what you see happening here. More opportunities for conflict. En conflict tem papimento da conflicto of clash. This can sometimes be like being excluded from the group. It can be a clash of words, un conflicto di palabra non, or it can be literally violencia, a clash between groups because one is not conforming. So in one way or another, there exists un conflicto, un clash between the person who doesn't conform and between the person who does conform. And those are mostly persons, the majority. Yeah. So rechazo, yeah. Whoever remembers what that was, I actually forgot. Anyway, social graces. When you try to conform, you use social graces to make everything in society walk smoothly. So when people behave in a social acceptable manner, they dress themselves acceptably, they say thank you, once you or you say are polite when you want something in the school canteen. It will not upset other people. It will not create a clash or make life difficult for others. So social graces are like asking things politely, having the right clothing with a tie and school uniform, and it won't upset other people and it won't make life difficult for others, and it will make social interaction more smoothly, more easily to happen. Yeah. So social graces, in a way, are a way of conforming yourself, and it will not upset other people or make life difficult for others. And like you can see here, we use social graces all of the time. When we greet somebody, when you step into the classroom, you create less conflict. When you visit your grandmother, when you go to church, when you go buy something at a store, when you meet somebody that you met and did before, you use social graces to make everything run smoothly, and they are a way of conforming yourself. Yes, for instance, not all people who use this expression actually believe in God or are that religious, but it is a social grace when you leave somebody into a conversation and you say Temayang Kudiaske. It is a social grace. The words are not always meant, but it is an expression to make everything run smoothly. Yeah? It is a way of conforming yourself actually to the group, not to make life difficult for other people and not to upset other people. Is an example of a social grace in our culture to use this expression. Okay, I hope you found learning outcomes. We'll look at the paragraph that we're looking at. Learning outcome of this paragraph is to identify norms, identificar, norm, norma, laws, lainan, and values, depapimento, esequita, valorna. And in this video, we will make a small start, talking about norms actually. So in this section, you will learn to look at norms, ideas and values, and you will be able to identify them. En nos se llama identified en pavimento identificar. Identificar. Yes? Okay, we're going to look at norms. So social customs, costumberenan social, are the manera nan, mané, normal, in which people behave. So we're again talking about behavior in everyday life. So social customs, costumberenan social, ta e mané normal, in which people, gente, behave, comporta durante e bibu Turdia. I know this is a 100% correct papiamento, but I hope you understand what I'm saying here. And we remember, behave, tá un verbo, is que significado em papiamento comportar. Yes? And they lead to an accepted standard of behavior, which is in papiamento comportación. Y comportación aquí, tá aceptar, para hope más ende, ding is sociedad aquí. The behavior here is accepted by a lot of people in the society. For instance, Curacao. They lead to an accepted standard of behavior, of way of doing. An accepted standard of behavior, of way of doing something with which most people are agree. Yeah? These are known as norms. That's a very important word of this paragraph is a norm. And it means actually an accepted standard of behavior. Yeah? Un ejemplo de comportación está aceptada by both sociedad. That is a norm. Make sure you understand what it means. An example of such a norm is the way in which people greet each other. If you say bom dia, or moro, or bom simang, or temayanko dioske, so you also say goodbye in a standard way, in mané normal. And what is the norm? That can be very different in each country. What is the norm can differ between different countries. Yeah, for instance, normally, like in an English-speaking country, we greet people by saying good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. And that is accepted, and it's also a social grace, like we just said, because if you do this, you make contact, and you also are polite, and you create a situation in which it is less likely to create a moment of conflict, and clash. Yeah, and also it's customary, it's also a norm to show an appreciation by applauding. Yeah, in all kinds of situations, actually. Yeah, this picture was taken from your book, actually. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. And in this video, we identified norms. Yeah, you can watch this video again any moment you like. But in this video, we identified norms. Next video will be about laws and values. And this was part 1 of a video that consists out of 3 videos. So this is part A, and there also will be a part B and a part C. Yeah, so you know. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have questions, please ask them below. Let me know what your question is. You can also ask me during class, or send me a message, or email me actually. That will be very, very helpful